Sagittarius, have you ever felt that something is happening in the very room where you sleep? Right beneath the seemingly harmless bed, there is something quietly stealing your luck, your money, and the peace resting inside your soul. It is not a rumor. It is not superstition. It is a signal from your guardian angel trying to warn you about an invisible yet deeply dangerous object, something you've never noticed until now. I am someone who has lived side by side with astrology and the realm of souls for 50 years. And today, I bring you this message. I will help you see clearly who or what has been silently manipulating the destiny of your prosperity. If you believe you are worthy of living in the light God has already given you, leave a comment now. I am ready to reclaim the prosperity that belongs to me. Because that is how you open the door for your angel to step in and act. And to understand why all of this began right within the space you call home, we must return to the energetic origin of Sagittarius, to that sacred space within you, where your soul connects directly to divine light and also where darkness tries to enter first. Sagittarius, you didn't come into this world to bow your head. You came to look up. Up into a sky full of stars, where every planet holds a story, a memory of the souls still walking their endless journey. From the moment you cried your first breath, Jupiter, your ruling planet, lit a flame inside you. The flame of a preacher, a traveler, a seeker of truth, chosen to see what others dare not see. They called you a dreamer. But how few understand. You dream because you see further. You move because your heart cannot be chained. And you believe even when the world has taught so many to forget how. You, Sagittarius, are a doorway. A gateway that opens between two worlds, the world of the present and the realm of eternal light. And that is also why you, more than most, are often targeted by darkness first. In astrology, the ninth house, the sacred ground where the soul expands its awareness and searches for truth, belongs to you. You are made for noble quests, for journeys without maps, where faith is the compass and intuition, the lighthouse. When you sleep, your soul does not rest. It travels to unfamiliar realms, speaks the language of light, and communes with celestial beings unseen by the human eye. And in those dreams, the doorway to the divine opens. Have you ever dreamt of a hand gently touching your shoulder, a whisper not made of words but of light, or felt a strange sensation that someone was watching you, not to harm but to warn? It's not an illusion, it's not coincidence. It is your guardian angel, knocking gently on the door of your unconscious to remind you there is something beneath your bed that does not belong to the light. Listen closely, because the bell from the other world does not ring forever. It comes only when you are quiet enough, awake enough, willing enough to understand that prosperity is not just money, but the permission you give yourself to live in alignment with your soul. Your planet, Jupiter, doesn't just bring luck, it also governs truth. And sometimes truth doesn't arrive as clarity. It shows up as strange little signs. An object always falling in the same place. A recurring dream. A chill that brushes your spine every time you enter your room. A fleeting shadow you chalk up to light. None of it is random. It is a whisper from the other side. Did you know in ancient astrology, those born with Lilith or Chiron in Sagittarius often carry a deep spiritual wound from past lives, where they were betrayed for their very faith? They were once priests, burned alive. Astrologers, silenced. Healers, accused of witchcraft. Seekers of truth, in a world that didn't want to know. And now, reborn as Sagittarius, they are handed back the torch. But with it come hidden trials, rising from the very space they call home. A client once told me, I kept dreaming of a woman in black standing under my bed. Every time I was about to sign a big deal, she would appear in the dream and pull my leg back. I thought I was imagining things, until one day I cleaned under my bed and found a red cloth bundle containing a strand of hair, an old coin, and a curse written in black ink. You see, not everyone is strong enough to look truth in the eye, but you, Sagittarius, you have that courage. Sometimes, prosperity isn't stolen by others. It is blocked by energies we've never cleansed, by inherited curses, by the memories of the dead, still unsettled, by family secrets your soul is still carrying without even knowing. So the question is not, is there something beneath your bed? But rather, do you have the courage to look at it and set yourself free? Because when you do that, You're not just releasing yourself, you're freeing those who came before you and the generations yet to come. Remember this, you are Sagittarius. No one can keep you blind forever, because the light within you is eternal. If you've ever felt that something just isn't right in your own room, if you've ever sensed that someone or something was draining your energy without knowing why, then write this in the comments below. I allow the light to return to where I live, because that affirmation is the signal your angel has been waiting for to step back into your space and reopen the door to a light that never truly left. You had simply forgotten how to see it. Have you ever noticed the space under your bed, that tiny, seemingly insignificant corner, is where light rarely touches? That's where dust gathers. Old objects are left behind, and sometimes things appear that you don't remember placing there and don't know when they arrived. Not a coincidence. Never a coincidence. I once met a woman, a Sagittarius, who came to me in a state of quiet despair. She told me, every time I'm about to rise in my career, something happens. I get sick out of nowhere. I lose a major contract at the last minute. It feels like someone is holding me back. I asked her a simple question. When was the last time you cleaned beneath your bed? She broke down in tears. Under her bed, buried beneath thick layers of dust, was an old wooden box with a rusted lock. Inside, a broken ring tied with a red thread, a yellowed piece of paper with the words, "You're not allowed to be better than me," and a bundle of hair that wasn't hers. No one in her family admitted to placing it there, and she had unknowingly lived with it for over 8 years. My personal belief is this: not every object in your home is lifeless. Some things are memories, some are symbols, and some are conduits for energy, whether healing or harmful. And the space beneath your bed in astrology is the realm of the 12th house, the place where hidden memories, unspoken fears, and buried truths quietly reside. So ask yourself honestly, is there anything under your bed that you once thought, "It's fine, I'll just leave it there"? An old bag you no longer use? A letter from someone you no longer trust? A gift from someone who once hurt you? These are not just objects, they are energetic symbols, and your soul, unconsciously, continues to interact with them every single night. I've seen too many Sagittarians live in a state of deep sleep, yet never feel rested. They dream constantly, they wake up exhausted, money flows in, then disappears, as if an unnamed cycle has been quietly pulling them backward. And all of that began to change the moment they chose to cleanse their space. The greatest truth I've learned after 5 decades walking with astrology and souls is this: every object you keep is a piece of energy you're allowing to remain in your life. If you don't intentionally clear it, then what's already dead will continue to occupy the space meant for what wants to be born. This is not just a spiritual matter, it is deeply human. Let go of what no longer serves you, so you can fully live with what's trying to arrive. Are you still holding on to memories beneath the bed? Things you believe are small, but are actually distorting your entire energy field? If yes, then I invite you to do this tonight. Light a white candle, open a window, clear the space under your bed, and place a symbol of light there, a Bible, a cross, or a cleansing crystal like selenite or clear quartz. It's not just about cleaning, it's about renewing your soul. If you've ever felt like something was off in your home, if you've ever heard faint footsteps at night while lying in bed, if you've spent night after night sleepless without knowing why, then share your story in the comments, because the moment you write it down, you begin your journey of healing. And soon, you'll realize you're not alone. For Sagittarius in particular, your energy is powerful. But because of that, you are more susceptible to energies that try to cling to you. Especially when you're in a state of emotional pain or disconnected from your faith. Remember this: prosperity isn't stolen by lack of effort, it's scattered by disturbances in your energy field. And it all begins with what you allow to remain, without ever questioning it. A mystical object under your bed could be a letter from someone who's passed, an item carried during a painful argument, even a gift from someone you no longer speak to, but who still thinks of you every day. Are you allowing them to exist in your space without knowing? This story isn't over, because after clearing the space beneath her bed, one Sagittarius wrote to me, "It felt like I could breathe for the first time in years. I thought I was just cleaning out clutter, But what I really cleared was the spiritual congestion in my soul. And if you're ready to clear your own soul, write this: I allow the light to return to where I live. Let that be the door through which your guardian angel returns to the place they've always belonged. If this resonates in your heart, even just a little, hit like and share this video with someone you care about. Because maybe, just maybe, your small act of kindness will be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. Because those objects under the bed are not just objects, they are messages. They are reminders, and sometimes they are the doorway to the next chapter of your soul's journey. So tell me, what happens when you finally discover who placed that object under your bed, and why they never wanted you to open the door to your own prosperity? That is what I'll tell you next. Have you ever felt like you've worked so hard, but everything seems to fall apart at the last moment? You stand right before the door of success, but just as you reach for it, something pulls you back? As if an invisible force is always waiting for the very moment you're about to rise, to drag you back down? I believe this. Prosperity is a form of energy, and energy, if unguarded, can be interfered with. Sometimes what's stolen from you doesn't come from strangers, it comes from the people closest to you. Family, friends, lovers. They don't need a knife. They only need to send a thought laced with envy, a whispered curse, a glance that carries no blessing. And that is enough to shift your destiny off the path it was meant to follow. Did you know, in astrology, a hard aspect, a square between Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, and Pluto, the planet of power and shadow, can indicate a silent war between light and manipulation. When this happens, especially in the 4th house, family, 8th house, secrets, or 12th house, karmic debts, it often means someone close to you is holding a key to lock away the prosperity that was meant to be yours. I once read the birth chart of a Sagittarius man in his 50s. He was once a CEO, had everything, until one day, every major deal collapsed. Years later, while clearing out an old storage room at his company, he found a photo of himself signing a massive contract. The photo had been pierced through with a single sharp needle, and standing in the background was his former assistant, the man he once treated like a younger brother. I never imagined that he would be the one who unraveled everything. My personal belief is this: no one can truly steal your soul. But if you live unconsciously, if you fail to protect your energy, you're not just leaving the door open, you're inviting others in. We live in a world where energy comes first, matter follows, and sometimes a bitter wish, even if never spoken aloud, can leave a crack in the mirror of your destiny. Think back. Has anyone ever said to you, "I don't think you'll make it. You're rising too fast. It's not normal. You're just lucky, not talented"? Words like that, sweet on the surface, but sharp underneath, can leave invisible scratches on the mirror of your belief. And the moment you begin to doubt yourself is when someone else begins to steal the light that was always meant for you. I once asked a Sagittarius woman in her 40s, if someone was secretly hoping for your failure, who do you think it might be? She was silent, then softly whispered, "I think it's my mother." Not because she hated her, but because she had never forgiven her own life. And unconsciously, she couldn't allow her daughter to live a version of happiness she herself had been denied. The life lesson here is not to teach you suspicion. It's to help you understand. Not everyone who loves you wants to see you win. And your prosperity must be protected with awareness, with boundaries, and by clearing the relationships that have already expired. If you've ever felt this, you feel drained after talking to someone. Everything in your life unravels after reconnecting with an old acquaintance, or you sense something isn't right the moment you speak of your dreams aloud. Don't ignore it. Your soul is speaking. What you need to do now isn't revenge. It's this: cut the energetic cords that no longer serve you. Keep your sacred plans between you and your angel, not the world. Cleanse with prayer, holy water, or even an hour of quiet each day. Write this in the comments. I reclaim full authority over my energy. This is not just a statement. It is a signal to the universe that you are ready to welcome light back into a space that was forgotten. If you've ever felt deep inside that someone wants to see you fail, pause. Place your hand over your heart and ask yourself, Have I truly guarded the doorway of my own energy? If this touched something within you, share this message with someone you trust, because maybe you are the angel they've been silently waiting for. And if you're still wondering, who was it that placed the object beneath your bed? Was it someone you once loved? Someone you forgave? Someone who once knelt beside you and prayed? That truth may not come to break your heart. It may come to free you from a cycle you didn't even know had a name. If you've stayed with me until this point, it means you no longer wish to live in confusion. You are ready to see the truth. And that, Sagittarius, is the first true step of a soul awakening. I remember something my teacher once told me when I was just entering the world of astrology. Prosperity never truly disappears. It only gets lost when we let our inner light go out. Maybe you don't need another new opportunity. Maybe what you need is to awaken the old one, the one still sleeping in your sacred space. Astrology taught me that there are moments when divine energy opens like a portal. And if you step in at the right time, everything flows. As if an unseen hand is quietly placing everything back where it was always meant to be. For Sagittarius, those moments often arrive during a new moon or full moon aligned harmoniously with Jupiter, or when Jupiter retrogrades, offering you a window to cleanse your spirit and restore your belief. Now that you know what has been blocking your flow of abundance, the question becomes, how do you call it back? Start with the simplest thing, your space. You cannot attract light into a space still holding symbols of darkness. Like lighting a candle in a sealed room, you must first open the door so the light can breathe. Here is a simple ritual, but one of profound cleansing power. Ritual: reignite the doorway of your angel. Choose a night with a full moon, or the quiet stillness of dawn, when the soul connects most easily to the divine. Clean under your bed, not just for dust, but to clear old energy. Sprinkle pure white salt around your sleeping space, a sacred purifier for both the physical and the spiritual. Light a white candle and place it near a symbol of light, a cross, a Bible, or a sacred object aligned with your faith. Speak this affirmation: I am protected by my guardian angel. I reclaim the prosperity that God has given me. I live in the light, and I share that light with the world. Then, write down 3 things you want to call back into your life: prosperity, peace, love. Fold the note and place it under your pillow for 7 nights. I used to believe that something big had to happen for a life to change. But after working with thousands of souls, I've come to understand. Sometimes what changes your life is a single moment when you turn inward and choose light instead of fear. You are Sagittarius, the one born to see what others cannot. Don't let the light within you be drowned out by the noise outside. You don't need anyone's permission to shine. You just need to give yourself permission to come home. The life lesson I want to offer you today is this: sometimes what holds you back is not karma. It's forgetting your own power. And prosperity isn't something you have to beg for. It's something you reignite from within. If you've been living too long in a state of bracing, striving, waiting for a miracle, try a different approach. Instead of waiting for the light to come, be the light. Write it in the comments: I invite my angel to return. This is not just a sentence. It's the beginning of a door. One that, once opened, you'll never want to close again. If you feel this ritual might touch someone you care about, share this video. You might be the angel they've secretly been hoping to meet. And now that you've reconnected with your angel, now that you feel the energy in your space becoming lighter, warmer, more sacred, the question is, what if the person who caused all this was a loved one? What if they did it unknowingly or knowingly? And are you ready to face that truth? That is what we'll explore in the final part of this journey, where the truth, even when painful, leads you back to your true spiritual freedom. Sagittarius, you've gone farther than you think. Not in distance, but in depth. The depth of your own soul. And now, after opening the door, clearing the darkness, and calling back the light, your angel has one small message for you. I've been here all along, but only when you turned inward could I step forward. The prosperity you seek isn't out there. It's in the palm of your hand, where you dare to reject fear and choose truth. The reward for awakening is not money. It is the return to yourself. A version of you no longer manipulated, No longer drowning in doubt, no longer clinging to symbols that don't belong to your soul. And when you live in alignment with your soul, money, opportunities, love, peace, they will all come to you, like a ship returning to harbor after the storm. Write this: I have returned, and I am being healed. Because when you write that, you're not just ending a chapter, you're beginning a new destiny. Sagittarius, today you didn't just learn what's beneath your bed. You discovered what lies beneath layers of forgotten memory, buried truth, and dormant belief. You dared to look. You dared to face it. You dared to step through it. You placed your hand on the truth, even when it wasn't easy. And most importantly, you chose the light instead of staying in old energy. If this journey awakens something in you, please share this video. Because light, when shared, always finds the soul who needs it most. And don't forget, your angel is waiting for you every night. Not to perform miracles, but to remind you, you are the miracle.